On this week's show, new leadership changes at Peloton and a new Rolling Hills class type launched this week.
Plus, a new Power Zone training program is coming. Emma Lovewell and Susie Chan have new apparel and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 218 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am Amanda Siegel, and I am joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John, how are you?
Hello. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Back in Maryland and here for a while.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a little chillier than I'd hoped for.
We got snow the other night.
Did you really?
Yeah, it did. Luckily, it didn't stick on any pavement or roads.
Okay.
It just melted,
Okay.
but all the yard is covered with this, quarter-inch dusting of snow. So it'll be melted probably within a day.
I think we're all ready, right? We're all ready to just get into spring. In fact, they're opening the pool this weekend. So I'm ready. The pool's being opened.
Down in
We
Miami?
can't have any more. No, yeah, in Maryland.
Oh,
My pool in Miami's open 365 days a year.
yeah, get
But
that
the
heater
pool
on.
But But we always like to open it early, and then by May, kind of it's ready. It's ready to go.
Then it's peak ready.
You had fun this week. You went to Jen Sherman's Dear Founder little get together. Tell us,
her Dear Founder, I think it was called Post 40 Pivots. So it was in a small little theater at sort of a performing arts center in the Bloomfield Hills area of Michigan, which is about 30 or so minutes from where we live.
Oh, nice. So
Jackie and I went, and there was a nice little reception area with some light food, and there was gift bags from local stores and vendors that you could help yourself to, and an open bar. And then they had a little meet and greet, which was nice. So we got a little time with Jen. I finally met Sunny and Lindsay Pinchuk, the host of the event and organizer. And then it was about an hour sort of chat about Jen and Sunny's, how they, have become best friends, kind of what Sunny does, her family, what she does for a living. Jen talked about her, origin story when she was, a stay-at-home mom, and when she first got into indoor cycling and then taught at a local studio in New Jersey. And then they talked a lot of female stuff. So a lot of stuff that I, kind of the eyes glazed over, which was the whole point of it. At least
you had Jackie with you. So
which was,
at least you felt right.
Perimenopause and menopause. And there was a little Q&A afterwards. It was fun.
Nice.
It was great to see them.
I'm really happy that you got to be there and that you got to, be a part of that. So I'm sure she was appreciative too. So that's awesome. All right. Well, we don't have much. There's not much today, but we will certainly kick it off. As always, folks, before we get started with the news, we like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yes. And of course, we're on all traditional podcast platforms. If you just want to listen to the audio on the go, you can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Yeah, and of course, all social media platforms. So X, Facebook, Instagram, just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right, so it looks like we are going to start this week's show with some back-end administrative work over at Peloton. They have announced some significant leadership changes aimed at boosting innovation, operational efficiency, and member experience. So with new CEO Peter Stern now well into the first quarter as CEO, there have been a few key leadership changes. First up is Charles Kirrell. He has been named Chief Operating Officer. This is a newly created role overseeing supply chain, IT, cost management, and operational excellence. He brings experience from iRobot and the U.S. Navy Reserve, interestingly enough. He replaces Andy Rendich, who is the outgoing Chief Supply Officer, who will stay on in an advisory role through June. Peloton have also commenced a search for a Chief Information Officer. The new CIO will report to Kirill and lead Peloton's IT strategy and infrastructure. And then the last CIO, was Shabana, and I know I'm going to butcher her last name, but Alawalia, who had left the company back in 2022. So they really have had nobody in that CIO role, for the last few years. And then lastly, Dion Camp Sanders has been promoted to Chief Commercial Officer. He was formerly the Chief Emerging Business Officer and is recognized for leading Peloton's retail operations, rentals, refurbished sales, B2B, international strategy, and mergers and acquisitions. So I think all these moves kind of reflect on Peter Stern's focus on scalability, improved delivery, and strategic expansion. And then, of course, really getting down to member experiences, member experience and what the members are feeling. So, so some nice C-suite, movement. So maybe we'll see some changes there.
All right, we'll see. Well, we have a new class type to the cycling modality. So Peloton Studios IG posted last week with a picture of Ali Love on the bike and the following description. It says, build speed and endurance while powering through rolling terrain in our newest cycling classes. In each class, you'll ascend a number of hills with downhill recoveries in between. And we've got a number of different classes. Most of them are dropping or have dropped on demand already. There was one that took place live, but what we have so far and what's coming that hasn't dropped yet, we've got a 30-minute rolling hills ride with Ali, which dropped on demand just this past week on April 9th. A 30-minute rolling hills ride with Mila that was in German, which did take place live on April 12th. A 20-minute ride with Ben that's dropping on demand in a few weeks on Wednesday, April 16th. And then a 15-minute ride with Olivia that's dropping the following week on demand on Wednesday, April 23rd. A 20-minute ride with Dennis. It's scheduled for Tuesday, April 29th. So that one could be live, actually, because Dennis has an evening time slot, I believe, on Tuesday. And that could be a live, but it's not clear. 30-minute ride with Emma that's dropping the following in a couple weeks, Wednesday, April 30th. So it looks like there are a lot of them for that no live classes on Wednesday. Some fresh content on that date. So
interesting.
Should be fun. Yeah, I guess it's like the hills without the hit, because the Hidden Hills ride.
Hidden Hills. Yeah.
If you're not super into the hit aspect of it, maybe this is more suited for you.
Which would kind of be me. I mean, this could be something that I could see myself enjoying more of that, because I don't love the hit. So
I like the speed. It just kind of depends on the day, but
on the day,
something for everyone.
Well, they have also launched or are launching a new Power Zone cycling program called Boost Your Base Power. Boost Your Base Power Zones. Boost Your Base Power Zones, I guess, all in one word. It's set to launch this month. It is the first new English language Power Zone program in nearly 3 years. While many Power Zone classes have been offered individually, this will be a fully structured training program. It will be the 4th official Power Zone program, and it joins Discover Your Power Zones, which is a 5-week program, Build Your Power Zones, also a 5-week program, and then Peak Your Power Zones, which is an 8-week program. So if you are one of those Power Zone riders, this is definitely something that people are looking forward to. They gave us a little tease on social media. It was kind of cute to see. Matt Wolf is very excited about launching it in a little Peloton reel that they put together. But that would be a good program for Power Zone folks. So yeah.
Cool. Well, Peloton launched a new 8-week-long You Can Run 5K training program last week. The new program, it's designed to help beginners work their way up to a 5K race with 3 classes per week. This is the third 5K related program Peloton has. There is the Road to Your 5K program, which is designed more for beginners. And then there's the Go the Distance 5K program, which is designed to help people improve upon their 5K time. The newest You Can Run 5K program, it's taught by a variety of different Peloton instructors. However, the overall structure and design of it was originally created by Bex Gentry. So for the German community, there's also the You Can Run 5K in German, which was also released. And then for those who will be taking it, when it's first released, Peloton is starting it they suggested actually starting it just last week, the week of April 7th. So it's kind of, that time frame has already begun. So you can be wrapping up the program in time to coincide with Global Running Day, which is June 4th. So the official description of the program is get ready to run a 5K with this 8-week program. It's perfect for brand new and beginner runners. With 3 sessions per week, you'll build endurance and confidence to successfully complete a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. There's 6 different coaches for this program. Maddie Majacomo, Hannah Frankson, Logan Aldridge, Kirsten Ferguson, John Hosking, and Robin Arzon. And you can join it from pretty much any device or app. The bike, the tread, row, the website. You just simply browse the program's area and you can find the You Can Run 5K program and click join from there. And then we also have, we have the full breakdown of, the full 8 weeks with the specific 3 classes each week on which day. So if you want to see that, complete breakdown, you can head over to pelobuddy.com.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's actually kind of a nice program to get folks started in that running journey if they're looking at, venturing out there and wanting to do that.
I could do a 5. I did a 5K once and I didn't die.
Yeah.
It was in Chicago.
Yeah. I think a 5K is manageable, even a 10K.
Very. They do the JP Morgan corporate challenge every, May or June in Chicago. Nice. It's kind of fun. There's different corporate, tents by Millennium Park. But yeah, that would have helped me back then. All right. Well, a new collection has been added to the collections tab called Now Playing. It is basically a selection of some of the week's newest classes all in one place. So if you're looking to find the classes, you can head over to the collections tab. This week, there is Ali Love's Feel Good Ride, Alex Kowarski and Rad's Form Fixer Row, Kirsten's NBA season finale run, Chelsea's Advanced Beginner Pop Yoga Flow, Olivia and Emma's DJ Armada classes, separate classes, but both Olivia and Emma had those. Hannah Corbin's Country Happy Hour. Mariana Fernandez's 60-minute endurance run makes the list. And finally, there is Cody and Tunde's 2-for-1 Lady Gaga ride. Yeah. So I guess just those kind of rides, they want to put maybe a little bit of what they share in This Week at Peloton that you'll talk about next. But I guess they're kind of putting that now into their own little collection. So if folks are kind of looking for what were the top, the top highlights.
things for the week, the highlights for the week, they can actually go to that collections tab directly to pick that from there. Great idea. Well, we've got This Week at Peloton. So Peloton shared which featured classes you can look forward to for the week of April 7th through the 13th on their weekly Instagram post. So first up, new Peloton classes that are geared towards golfers.
are available to take on demand as of this past Monday, April 7th. Selena Samuela has a new 20-minute mobility for golfers and a new 30-minute intermediate strength for golfers class now available in the library. On Tuesday, April 8th, a new yoga class type dropped from Kira Michelle called Yoga Drills. This class is meant to combine traditional poses with conditional training. So what we have available now to take from that is a 20-minute yoga drills inversions, a 15-minute yoga drills chaturanga, and a 15-minute yoga drills hips. And then on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, April 9th, Katie Wong had a 20-minute kettlebell conditioning class on demand that dropped. And as a reminder, new kettlebell classes will drop weekly on Wednesdays. And then on April 9th, Cody, he taught a live live class, back-to-back live rides at Peloton Studios London. He had a 20-minute pop ride followed by a 20-minute hip hop ride. I actually just took those just the following day in the morning. So it was a nice little stack. And then also this morning, depending on when you're listening to this, he has taught a 45-minute live pop ride at Peloton Studios London with members. In the two 20-minute classes, incidentally, that were on Wednesday were with members in the studio at
which is unusual
PSL, which was fun. Yeah.
PSL
normally
is typically closed.
Middle of the week. It's
Correct.
an empty room. But 45-minute pop ride that happened this morning, Sunday the 13th, at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. London time. So it was a nice way for him to wrap up his time at London. So I was just happy that we got some Cody while PSNY was closed.
Yeah,
because he taught, I think, 4 total live classes, so not too shabby.
Yeah, good for him. And I'm sure folks were happy to have had him there. So that was really fun. All right, well, Peloton is celebrating a legendary hip-hop producer, Dr. Dre, with a new 7-class artist series collection across 5 workout types. As part of the featured producer series that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, this collection highlights Dr. Dre's iconic beats and musical innovation. Most classes were released on demand due to the temporary closure of Peloton Studios New York this past week, and of course London's midweek live schedule restrictions. But this is what dropped. So we got a 30-minute ride with Robin Arzon, a 20-minute full body stretch with Hannah Corbin, a 30-minute run with Kirsten Ferguson, a 30-minute walk plus run with Jess Sims, which was kind of cool. The German members got a 20-minute upper body strength class with Asal Aryan and a 30-minute ride with Cliff Wenger. And then there was one live drop. Jermaine Johnson has a 30-minute full body strength, which is live on April the 10th. April 11th, was live on April 11th at 8 a.m. So Dr. Dre is in the house.
Nice. All right. So we have some new instructor apparel collections that are now available on the Peloton apparel site. So first, a full apparel collection designed by Emma Lovewell. Peloton shared the news via Instagram, writing, "Get back to nature with our first ever hiking-inspired collection designed by our own Emma Lovewell. The new Born to Roam collection is specifically designed to be worn outdoors, especially on hiking and walking trails. Emma is an avid hiker, and last year she debuted on the tread to teach hiking classes. She also showcases the functionality of the woven half zip from the collection, which includes a pocket that can be used to store trail snacks. The Emma Lovewell collection includes a total of 15 different products, including sports bras, leggings, half zips, cargo pants, hike shorts, pocket crews, hats, and more. And the items are unisex for both men and women and range in price from $15 to $128. And then also this last week, Peloton released a performance skort designed in collaboration with instructor Susie Chan. They also shared that news via Instagram saying, "Meet our first ever performance running skort, designed with Peloton instructor Susie Chan, who's adding this to their run rotation." According to a recent email from Peloton, the skort was designed in collaboration to deliver on performance and function, and it's built with runners in mind. It offers coverage and breathability with lightweight fabrics, a secure waistband, and a built-in short layer for extra support. And the skort retails for $68, and it's currently in two colors, in black and white. And that release is also a part of Peloton's apparel run collection, which is specifically engineered for running, comfort, and performance.
Very cool. Very cool. Huge congrats to both of them. That's awesome. All right. Well, this is kind of a really fun little unexpected from Peloton. They launched a one-day Instagram contest this past week, giving members the chance to win a free in-person class at either PSNY or PSL. The contest ended on Tuesday, April the 9th at 9 a.m., but members had the opportunity to fill out a template on Peloton's Instagram stories with the following: why you joined Peloton, a benefit you've gained, and your next fitness goal. Folks could then post their completed template to their Instagram story and tag at one Peloton and use the hashtag Peloton contest entry. 10 winners will be selected to receive a free class credit valid for 12 months. Winners will also be able to choose whether they attend the New York or London studio. So it doesn't have to mean because you're in the States, you get to go to, PSNY, etc.
Nice having both options.
Yeah, it did note, which kind of makes sense, but it did note that travel and accommodations are not included. The prize is a free class only. The winners will be chosen based on alignment with Peloton's mission, inspirational storytelling, and responsiveness, and will be notified via Instagram DM within 10 days of the contest's close. So, really, really cool. I really hope, obviously just from the folks that I follow personally on Instagram, it was all folks that I know have been to the studio multiple times and shared their stories, etc. But I really do hope that Peloton take the time to look through those and look as to whether there are folks that filled it out that have not been to the studio yet, that this is a great story, that we can kind of get new blood into the studio and give folks an opportunity to experience what it's like to be at one of the studios. But a very cool like midweek, kind of thing for folks to do.
It's fun. It's nice. Well, on the evening of Tuesday, April 8th, around 10 p.m. Eastern time, we had a brief outage on Peloton. A lot of folks were having trouble trying to load the Peloton website or on the app or take a class on their hardware. Many people experienced a screen that said an error has occurred while using the app. Others were just unable to log in or told that their passwords were incorrect. Some people tried to access the Peloton website via a browser and encountered an error message from Cloudflare stating that they had been blocked from the site. So that's kind of weird. Errors on actual Peloton devices range from the leaderboard not working correctly to being unable to start the class or not being able to interact and navigate the screen at all. And then Peloton posted about 48 minutes later that evening that they had rolled out a fix. 1 minute later, stated the issue should be fixed and all systems should be running and back to normal, but that they would continue to monitor things. But I definitely saw a little bit of chatter
about that
on social. Yeah, didn't experience it myself, but seems like it was pretty widespread.
Right, well, hope that got fixed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, there are no birthdays this week, so no Peloton instructor birthdays this week, but we are going to jump right into Instructor in the News. I will kick it off. with Camila Ramon. She has been incredibly busy lately. She has now teamed up with Melissa Ortiz, who is a former pro soccer player and Olympian, to launch a new podcast titled Hasta Abajo with Cami and Melly. The show debuted on April the 1st and is available on iHeartRadio app and other podcast platforms, with new episodes releasing on Tuesdays. Topics include mental health, body image, resilience, mindset, and Latinidad. It will feature special guests such as entrepreneurs, influencers, athletes, and artists. And it's just really there to aim to inspire and embrace identity through real conversations, especially in the Latino community. The name Hasta Abajo reflects the podcast's deep, empowering vibe, connecting music, sports, and life from top to bottom. Camila joins a growing list of Peloton instructors who've launched their own podcasts, including Cody Rigsby, Jen Sherman, Marcel Dinkins.
Jen Sherman never launched a podcast.
But she didn't
She
launch it,
announced
right?
one along.
She announced one, and
I should have asked.
As I was typing that up,
I wanted to ask her at the event during the Q&A, and I didn't want to throw it out there in case, I guess, they had scrapped it. But yeah, she announced it so long ago.
But her and Sunny had announced it, and then they just never did it.
They announced it 6 months ahead of time that it was going to happen in the fall of 24. And then
it never happened.
It was nothing since then. So, yeah,
I did want to ask you about that, because I was like, I don't think I saw anything about that.
Nothing ever happened with that, at least not yet.
But Marcel Dinkins does have one, and Justin Thompson ruled. So, good for her.
Cool. Well, Kirsten Ferguson was recently featured in PopSugar. She was interviewed by the author Sarah Wozniak, who actually they did a run from Chelsea Piers to Peloton Studios in New York, and basically chatted during the course of the run. So it was kind of like a running interview, literally, which Kirsten refers that run from Chelsea Piers to Peloton Studios, Kirsten refers to as the Mecca. And the author said she shared so many relatable and motivating tidbits that I wouldn't dare gatekeep. She said, the conversation reminded me why I work out with Peloton instructors in my ear to guide me. Kirsten also admits during the course of that run that she hates to drink water. She also says getting injured when she was recovering from her own personal injury, that it forces you to look inward. Fitness is a lifelong journey. It's easier to do with a support system. And imposter syndrome, she said, sucks for everyone. Kirsten said, the author says, as we arrive at the end of our run, Ferguson recalls her first 20-miler while training for the NYC Marathon. She said it ended at Peloton Studios where Bex Gentry was cheering her on. Kirsten said, I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome when I started at Peloton because I am not Bex Gentry. She says, as we both agree that the 2-hour, 32-minute time a marathoner and great world race finisher is pretty next level for Bex. But she says, I know I'm not meant to be here. I know I'm not meant to be her. I'm meant to be me. She says, I laughed to myself thinking about how an hour ago, this is the author. I laugh at myself thinking about how an hour ago I was nervous. I'd be embarrassingly starstruck meeting Ferguson, but instead the experience felt more like running with a friend, which I believe is the reason Peloton tapped Ferguson to join the team in the first place, even though she wasn't a runner. ...
Very
yet.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. She definitely was out of her comfort zone being on the tread, but has definitely embraced it beautifully. And folks love her, yeah. Her messaging and her Ratchet Mom Club and, everything else that she brings to,
and her singing
to
along.
The platform. Yeah. No, I think she's amazing. All right. And we'll round off. There's very little instructor in the news. I guess they've all been kind of taking it easy with this week off. But we'll round it off with Susie Chan's book, which is up for an award. She shared on Instagram that she was so happy that the book had been shortlisted for the Charles Tyrwhitt Sports Book Awards, and asked if folks had read it and enjoyed it to vote for it. She also shared a couple of throwback moments featured in the book. If you haven't yet voted, you can head over to the website and look for Susie's category. So you can head over to sportsbookawards.com/vote. And if you scroll through it, you'll get to her category where you can vote for her. Voting closes on April the 17th. So I guess it would be really cool to see her end up, winning something like that. She just has such an incredible story. So huge shout out to Susie, and definitely for those folks that haven't yet voted, you still have time to do it. Yeah, get out there and vote. All right, John, why don't we go right into picks of the week? Again, I don't think we have too many, being a quiet week at PSNY, but why don't you go and kick it off?
Yeah, I got a good amount. Well, all right, first up, Anna Greenberg's 15-minute Pilates Express from April 3rd. Armor Jar 3 said, good, quick little burner. And then Matt Welper's 45-minute Power Zone ride from April 3rd. Sam Spin's 8 and Kay Breezy said, good structure, steady grind at sweet spot. And then Allie Love's 30-minute bar sculpt from April 3rd. Christina Romano and Armor Jar 3 said, love the new bar format. Great that they are enhancing and improving bar.
Nice. And then I will move on to Tunde. Tunde had a 30-minute upper body plus core on April the 4th. This one came to us from Gayla Brewer. Nice to see a new name pop up there. Thank you for the pick of the week. Gayla Brewer said, from Tunde's upper body program, lots of push press and burpees. And then Mila Lazar's 10-minute extra 10 listening party ride. This one was in German. It was also from the 4th. It came to us from Amaja 3. And she said, perfect for stacking and great pop hits. And then Hannah Corbin had a 30-minute alternative rock ride, also from the 4th. This one came to us from Spinbug and said, Hannah put together a great playlist on this one.
All right, going over to the mat. Kira Michelle's 30-minute slow flow from April 5th. Armor Jar 3 said lots of balancing combined with a good flow. And then Jen Sherman's 30-minute 90s ride from April 6th. Rachel Spins 24 said terrific playlist and always seeing familiar faces with her. And then Andy Spears, 60-minute total strength from April 6th. Tabata Be Hitting Me said, great class and start of a new block that is going to be a lot of fun. Plus his energy was fantastic. Good playlist, and got to see a lot of spearheads in the studio.
Nice. And then Nico Serrani had a 30-minute yin yoga in English. This was from the 6th of April. This one came to us from Katie Carey, Tabata Be Hitting Me, and Amajah 3. They said a perfect reset. Great yoga class that left me feeling stretched out and recharged. Stretched both upper and lower body. And then this one I heard great things about. I have not done it, but Mariana Fernandez had a 60-minute endurance run. That is one of them that are on the now playing featured collections. It was from the 6th. It came to us from Rachel Spins 24. And she said, great playlist and coaching as always. And I would like to give Rachel a huge shout out. I know that this was her 100th, her century run that she got to celebrate live in studio with Mariana. So huge congrats to Rachel. I know that running did not come easy to her. So huge congrats to her on that. And then Camila Ramon's 20-minute Disney ride, also from the 6th. This one came to us from Spin Loving Mama, and they said, always love a good Disney playlist.
All right, next up, going to the tread, Jess Sims, 20-minute hit run from April 8th. Tabata Be Hitting Me said, good playlist and super spicy ending. It also it uses pace targets, which takes all the guesswork out. And then Bex Gentry's 20-minute classical run from April 8th. Just Dance Lisa said her classical runs are always just good, solid runs. And then Cody Rigsby's 30-minute intervals ride from April 8th. Stephanie Fitzgerald said great music and challenging class. Fun to see him in London.
Nice. And then rounding out the picks of the week, we have Bradley Rose's 20-minute 80s rock ride from the 8th of April. This one came to us from Amaja3, and she said lots of hair band classics in this one. Katie Wong had a 20-minute kettlebell conditioning class. This one was from the 9th, and it came to us from Spin Loving Mama and Tabata Be Hitting Me. They said great workout in a short amount of time. Katie also focuses a lot on technique, which is super helpful for those of us newer to kettlebells. The swings at the end were no joke. And then finally, we have Hannah Frankston's 30-minute intervals run from April the 9th. It came to us from S. Valdi, and they said great coaching and playlist. That, folks, are your picks of the week. Yeah, so this was really a quickie for you guys this week, just kind of giving you all the little bits and pieces. I guess next week we'll see what we get with having had the studio closed this week. I think I was thinking when I said picks of the week, but it was really there were lots of classes from last week. This week we'll probably have less.
Is the studio open on Easter? Easter Sunday? Next week's Easter.
It opens up on Monday. So it's closed. So
the whole weekend?
PSNY is closed through Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
It opens back up on Monday morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I think that, interestingly enough, I think that London is open on the weekend. I'm almost sure, which is strange because I know that they do
celebrate.
It's more of, religious, and they do celebrate. So that is interesting. So that's it, John. Well, we got it in there really quickly.
Knocked it out.
You guys got a half an hour show from us today. I mean, it was like really
a quickie.
Just about time to get a cup of tea and a biscuit before you, or a cookie, before it's all over. It's all over. Well, as always, we're here to bring you that news each week so that you are kept up to date in everything that is happening in the Peloton world. It's always fun to sit beside you, John. So thank you for that.
Anytime.
And it is. I said, are we going to be old and gray and still be doing our Peloton podcast?
One day at a time.
Hope you guys still enjoy it. Exactly, right? One day at a time. One day at a time. Well, anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in, as always, for listening. And we will see you next week. Me here down in Maryland. Bye for now, everybody.
Yes, appreciate you from me in Michigan. Thank you for always listening, watching. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.